Buongiorno, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I have today a new fragrance to do a review on, and it's the newest release from the Allegoria line from Guerlain, Rosa Verde. So if you want to know all about this fragrance, how does it compare to other fragrances on the market, and would I recommend it or not, then please keep watching. But before we start, if you're new here on my channel, hi, welcome, my name is Nora, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. I have a lot of full reviews on new releases, which I will leave linked down below. And without further ado, let's start. So it's not a secret that I absolutely love the Allegoria line from Guerlain. It has one of my absolute favorite fragrances of all time. It's always in my top 10 list, has been in my collection now for years, and I continue to recommend it, and it is Mandarin Basilic. I have a lot of fragrances from the Allegoria line in general. I love this line because I am a freshy lover. I love citruses, summer fragrances, fresh fragrances. So this line is just right up my alley. So when I heard that there is a new release, a Rosa Verde, I immediately went and tested it, and I enjoyed it enough, as you can see, to get a full bottle. So spoiler alert, I like this fragrance. So actually the name of the fragrance gives you an idea of it practically. It's a fresh green rose scent. In the opening, this fragrance reminded me a lot of Flora Botanica from Balenciaga. Not identical fragrances in any way, but it just has this vibe. So this very green, almost herbaceous like opening. If you don't know about Flora Botanica, it was a cult favorite, then was discontinued. It had a cannabis note, which made it quite unique, but I didn't like it personally in the opening. It does develop quite different in the dry down, like this balmy rose. So I was reminded a little bit in the opening of that one, but minus the cannabis. So you get this very green, almost herbaceous rose, as if you are in a rose garden and you are smelling the roses, but you are also smelling the vegetation around it. Quite bright and fresh, and I actually didn't mind it at all. Actually, I thought that will be a great fragrance if it is really like almost a dupe of Flora Botanica that has been discontinued. Now the dry down doesn't go into what Flora Botanica goes to, so there is no balmy rose in the dry down. It remains a very fresh green rose, so the name is definitely fitting for this fragrance. You have top notes of cucumber, bergamot, and also mint. You have a heart of floral notes, so you have iris, rose, and pear, and then in the base you have sheeper notes, musk, and iris. And to me, mostly what I get is cucumber. The rose, of course, is the star of the show here. A little bit of the mintiness in the opening, but in the dry down I don't get it much. What I get in the dry down instead is also the sheeper note, so it has a little bit of an earthiness. It's quite a refreshing, fresh summer fragrance that is quite different to anything that I have in my collection. And this is why I like it so much, because I was looking for this fresh rose that is not very floral. I wanted something almost citrusy, a little bit more with an edge, if you will. And this fragrance will satisfy this craving for an extremely fresh floral or rosy scent during the summer. Now, when it comes to performance, it actually surprised me because I imagined that it will be very, very light. I have to say it's not a very projecting fragrance, so you will not have a huge sillage with it, which I expected, but it's the duration of this fragrance that really surprised me more, because it lasted more than 4 hours on my skin with a weak like intimate projection, but I could smell myself enough to have the freshness and the rosy scent. So I really am surprised by the performance of this fragrance, especially that it is an eau de toilette, and given like the usual performance of Allegoria fragrances, this is one of the best performing ones. Now, when it comes to other fragrances on the market that I can compare this one to, like, to my mind, I can't really say that it reminds me of a specific fragrance. Overall, as I said, it does have a little bit of this flora botanica vibe to it, but otherwise I don't think that I ever smelled something very similar. So I went to the remind me of section in Fragrantica, and I saw that people compare it to Roses on Ice from Kilian, which I don't own and I never smelled, so I can't tell you. And like all the fragrances that they mention are not ones that I've tested, so I can't say if it is similar to these fragrances or not. What I can say, because one of them is a flanker of green tea from Elizabeth Arden, a particular flanker, the one with cucumber, and I can imagine that it does have the same vibe because it has this freshness, almost tea-like effect, but there is no tea scent here. So I get it, maybe that is similar to Elizabeth Arden. I used to own one of Elizabeth Arden fragrances, and I have to say it smells very cheap. Like, it's a refreshing scent that I actually finished, but as an after the shower scent, because it's a very, very cheap smell. This doesn't smell cheap. So this is, I would say, the difference. Tell me in the comments down below, did you try this fragrance and is it really similar to Roses on Ice? Because if that is true, then you have a better affordable version of that one. And I also wonder if it's similar to Rosa Verde from Valentino. It's a discontinued, again, fragrance from Valentino, which didn't get a lot of hype, but a particular YouTuber, a German one, talked a lot about that fragrance in the beginning of her channel and was always very, very curious. So if you smelled that fragrance and you smelled also Rosa Verde, does it really compare to that one? I'm very curious about that. And that was it. That was my review on the new Rosa Verde from Aqua Allegoria line from Guerlain. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. And if you did, please give me a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel if you didn't already. And tell me in the comments down below what you think about this fragrance if you have tested it already. And also, what is your favorite Aqua Allegoria fragrance? I am doing a buying guide. I promised you guys I am doing it this year. So stay tuned for a complete buying guide on the Aqua Allegoria line. And that will be the perfect opportunity, if you didn't already, click on the bell to go ahead and click it so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao!